Yo, we are back. This is Wrap Up Podcast, episode 29.
29.
After forever. Now, usually, it's a combination of things or a bunch of whatever going on. But this time, I guess I have to take all of the blame for us being gone for so long. So thank you for your patience, America. And you too, brother. How you feeling, man?
Yo, I'm good. Well, I can't give you all the blame because, I had a week trip in there too, so.
Yeah, man. It was some things going on, but for the most part, it was me. So I apologize. But it feels good to be back. And no better time to be back than this week. We got a boatload of phenomenal music, dog.
A plethora.
I haven't even gotten through all of them. A plethora. a smorgasbord.
For real.
It's been so much. I still haven't even got to every project that I want to, man. But so much great music. I just we'll get into the pieces that we have got into. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna switch gears. I was about to say I know where I want to dump it off to. But I want to taper that. Let's taper it back a little bit. Let's start with Little Brother.
Okay.
I want to start with Little Brother, the North Carolina connection. So they dropped their first project in almost a decade.
Yep.
With May the Lord Watch.
May the Lord watch between me and thee. While we absent,
big
one from another.
Yeah, Big Pooh and Fonte came with it. This was a very, very dope project.
I agree.
Man, I always expect great things from them, and I'm glad we got a very good project. What was your first initial thoughts when you finally got a chance to spin it?
Well, my first initial thoughts with them, I know the lyrics are always going to be there. That's a given.
Yeah.
But what I was concerned with is I knew the album was coming out. I knew they was back together, but I didn't know if Ninth was going to be back. So my initial concern was the production. How was the production going to sound? Were they going to go back to the Justice League team or what they were going to do? But the production has to be one of the the whole album is a complete bright spot, but the production is solid. The production is solid, very, very, very solid. And I looked at the names of who produced the tracks, and it's a good list. Crisis, Black Milk, Knots. So they had some good people on there.
Oh, for sure. They definitely came with some heavy hitters on the production too. But like you said, man, it still gives you that same nostalgic Little Brother feel when it comes to the production, even though Ninth's not there. They didn't go off on like a super trap tangent or some way out of left field. It still sounded really good. It felt good. Nothing was like out of place or felt forced. The production
I felt like big jeans and big baseball cap and t-shirt listening to the whole album. I kid you not.
Yeah.
I kid you not, man. Do-rag underneath.
It felt right. It felt like City Cat do-rag underneath.
For real.
Throwback jersey music. It felt good. It felt good, man. The surprise for me, I mean, Fonte brings it all the time. It's like you hear that knock on the door and it's like, yo, top 10 rappers, Fonte, is that you?
Yeah.
Every time you hear him spit, it's like, yo, this dude is so underrated. How could you not have him in your top 10? But so that didn't surprise me. But Big Pooh,
yeah, like, man,
he is in a totally different bag. Like Big Pooh was never whack.
And he wasn't bad, but he was never whack. You're right.
Yeah, and it was just like, but this is like, yo, he was with it, bar for bar. He was in the ring with Fonte.
Man,
like, yo, these dudes they getting busy. I mean, like the way they fed off of each other has always been dope, but this time it's like lyrically, my man's he was right there with Fonte every step of the way. They was like in tune with it, and I was like, yo, Big Pooh is coming correct.
I ain't gonna even front.
This is fresh.
It was one point in the album where they were flowing so cohesively together. if I didn't hear Tigolo Tigolo or recognize Fonte's cadence and his flow, I wouldn't have known that it was Fonte. That's how much Pooh came with it on this.
Yo, and you texted me. You was like, "Yo, is Big Pooh in Fonte rhyme book?"
For real.
Like, when you texted me that, I'm like, "Yo, dog, you in my head right now," because that's exactly how I'm feeling.
But you know, he had that line. He had that line where he was like, I forget the name of the track, where he's talking about how it got hard for him. He wanted to go out and sling the cane to get some money. He was driving the Uber. He wasn't recognized. I was like, that'll make you hungry, man.
Yeah,
that'll make you hungry.
Bittersweet. Yo, that was Big Pooh came super correct on this entire project, man. It was dope. It was dope. Like top to bottom, no misses. I thought this super ill project, and like I've been doing for the past like month or two, I compare everything to Big KRIT, because to me Big KRIT had the best album of the year. And I'm listening and I'm like, yo, this is almost up there with KRIT. This is so dope. The only, and you know, this is just me being petty, but if anything, I'm consistent. It's not long enough for me.
I knew you was gonna say that, man.
It's not.
I knew you was gonna say that, man.
You knew I was coming there. It's not long enough. It's like, yo, even though it's a flawless, you know how we do. It's like it's a flawless spin. You go through it, and then all of a sudden you get back to the top of the lineup, and you like, yo, I didn't got through this joint already.
I love albums like
40,
that.
It's like 40 minutes. Yeah, and I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. That is, 40. What is it, 45? 47.
Something like that. It's in that avenue.
37. My bad. It's 37 minutes long. Then I'm like, yo, give me like 5 or 6 more joints.
Man.
Give me 5 or 6 more of these, and I'm set.
Because I was texting you, and you know I don't do back-to-backs, but I over the course of 2 days, I kid you not, I got at least 22 spins in. 22 spins in like 2 days.
That makes sense, because I definitely spun this joint at least 6 times the first day. And I'm like, yo, I'm really loving it. And it's a dope. Can't stop, won't stop. But now we got to get to maybe my favorite part. Is the skit.
Yeah, they delivered on them joints, man.
The skits are amazing. So it's like, first off, my favorite Lil Brother album was The Minstrel Show.
Correct.
And all of the skits is basically, surrounded around the Minstrel Show.
Yeah.
So with Percy Miracle's dying.
I text you, I was like, yo, they done killed Percy.
They done killed Percy, man. I put up on Twitter, I was like, no, not Percy. Lord, take me instead.
Man.
How you killing off Percy? Yo, the skits is amazing. It's like, first of all, the fact that people is bringing skits back is dope to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Big KRIT came with the skits.
He had some good skits too.
And it breaks up the monotony. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yo, it kind of just ties it all together, to just have, some fun in between some of the tracks.
Well, yeah.
It's dope, man.
And not just interludes, but legit skits. You know what I'm saying? Like legit skits, like the Chronic skits. Legit skits.
It's like you're telling a story in between a story.
Absolutely.
Because, whenever you got a track or a project that's actually, it's taking you somewhere, you can see it, it feels kind of cinematic, and then you got skits in between, it just makes it even better, man. So the skits was top notch. I loved every bit of it. With Joe Scudder.
Oh yeah. It's so good to be a white man again.
That was classic, dog.
And no features, right?
None.
No features.
No features, none whatsoever. It's just Big Pooh. It's just fine. Yep. They getting busy on every track. You ain't need nobody else.
Absolutely.
Although, I wouldn't have minded.
Roy Lee 8.
I wouldn't have minded if they would have tossed it. Roy Lee 8. Yo, that's the best skit, hands down. It's not even close. Roy Lee. Roy Lee came with it on the skit. He said, I told you. It ain't just about the boom in the back. It's about the boom in the back
and the
trap. I tried to told you how long that, baby.
He said, no, seven other niggas have Roy Lee, so I'm Roy Lee 8.
I'm Roy Lee 8. Oh, yeah, 7 other niggas got to it before me. Yo, I fell out, dog. I fell out. As soon as Questlove started laughing, I was laughing.
Yeah, that's when I lost him when Quest started laughing.
That was the funniest shit ever. It's like, it was just, I don't know how you could sit through that and not laugh. That was the funniest shit, dog. That was pure classic. That was a phenomenal album. It was a great moment in the album. Peter Rosenberg was funny in this joint.
Yeah.
When he was like, Percy Miracles hit on his right back in 89. Yo, that was funny. He was like, oh,
I should have said that.
The miracle he hasn't been there. I shouldn't have said that. I sincerely apologize.
So this is what their fourth album. Where you place it in their pantheon? This is the fourth one, right? The Listening, Minstrel, the Let Back, and this one, right?
Yeah. This is four. Because the Get Back was their last one, like 2010, 2011, something like that.
But maybe this the fifth because it was was it the Get Back, and what was the one before that one? Was it Let Back or Get Back?
I think it was the Get Back. I think. Let me to the Google. Let's see.
Because I know they had the
it was the Minstrel Show, the Listening, to Get Back.
And it was one.
Oh, Left Back.
Yeah.
And it was Left Back.
Yeah. Because that's the one with like the black and white looking cover on it.
So that's 2010.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's hard to. I'm gonna put this second.
Behind Minstrel, right?
Yeah, Minstrel
okay.
is still number one.
They can go back and forth with me. I won't be mad if somebody had this one at number one and Minstrel number two.
Yeah, but I'll put the Listening at number 3.
I agree.
To Get Back at 4, Let Back at 5.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's probably my order.
I'm down with that.
Oh man, this was a dope project, man. My only knock again is to me it's a little too short. 30 minutes of music, 37 minutes to be exact, but it's still a great project.
Yeah,
it's a great project. In my eyes, it's top 5 of the year so far.
Oh, easily, hands down.
Take a lot.
Hands down.
It's going to take a lot for somebody to come and take it out of that spot.
Yeah.
The year started off slow, but summer has been banging. Summer has given us really, really good music.
It has.
It's been a good summer for some music, man. And man, I hope it continues. It seems like it will. Do you think Lil Brother could get a Grammy nod?
Easy for this album. Yeah. For what it is, yes. But the reason it probably won't is because of the streams and the relevance of today's climate.
Yeah. I mean, because you gotta think you're gonna go up against Ross, you're gonna go up against Nas, you're gonna go up against you definitely going up against Chance. You're going up against I'm hoping
and they should
go up against Ryan
and they shouldn't be going against Chance. Chance shouldn't be nominated.
He shouldn't, but from a buzz standpoint and the fans, to me, Chance was the main letdown of the year so far. I did not like Chance's album, but it's getting a lot of spins.
It's 3 albums.
It's getting a ton of.
It's 3 albums that should be nominated off bat. 2 Chainz, Rick Ross would probably be nominated, and I wouldn't be surprised if I see Corday there.
Yeah,
as a new face in rap.
He has a really good album right there. I don't know, man. Freddie Gibbs had a dope album too.
He did.
But
Chainz and Rick Ross probably got their spot is. I'm pretty sure it's locked.
Chainz definitely kicked us off the right way at the beginning of the year because his came out like February, March, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The way I got it now, he out of my top 5 now, dog.
Yeah, I can see that, but based upon the name and the machine behind it, but little brother may get a spot. Laila Wisdom, they got a nod, but and that was kind of
that's true. That's very true, and I'm glad you just brought up Laila's Wisdom because
I did another segue.
If there's any, that's a beautiful segment as usual. It might have been a little hiatus in between episodes, ladies and gentlemen, but this man still knows how to talk to live. So that was a great assist. Well, if it's any way you want to follow up Laila's Wisdom, it's the way that Rapsody followed it up with Eve.
Oh,
now,
man.
like I said, I have been comparing everything to Big K.R.I.T's album because it was the best album of the year. Because to me, it was flawless in every way, in regards to substance and your message and the production and just how well it was put together. And there was a couple people who came close, and I was just like, man, this is probably going to be the album of the year for me until I heard Rapsody's album.
And I have to listen to K.R.I.T. The first couple of songs because you already pumped me up like this the album of the year, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, let me listen to it. And I'm like, no, this ain't no album of the year. But the more that I listened to it, K.R.I.T. grew musically. So it wasn't the same old K.R.I.T. that we normally get. So once I got in spin, he got a lot of spins too. Once I got in like spin 8, I'm like, yeah, this legit. 2 Chainz, you move to the side for me now. This album legit.
Straight up. And I admittedly will say it's points in times in music where I could become the prisoner of the moment where nothing is just so new and it's just like, yo, maybe you got to taper your expectations or it might fall off a little bit. But I can really feel the way that this album is impactful. Rapsody came with the only way you could take over the throne for the best album of the year for me so far is to come with something that's absolutely complete. It's got to be a masterpiece. It can't have any misses, no holes whatsoever.
This is her masterpiece. I'm glad you said that. This is her masterpiece. This is relevant. It got something for everybody, really. If you it's to me. I like how you said it when we was talking the other day. You said it make you want to go out and kiss every black woman and hug them. It was a love story, a love song to black women, and I was here for it.
Yes.
And I was here for it.
I'm here for every bit of it, and it's so well put together.
For real, it made you relish, man. It made you relish. Yeah. Like I'm driving, coming back from work, and I'm like gaga goo goo for the black woman. Everyone that I'm driving by, I'm like, man, you bad. And she ain't even had no teeth, but you know you bad, right? You a queen.
Right.
You a queen with no teeth.
No, exactly. It's just like, man, do you know how special you are? I mean, it just made me think about all of the black women in my life and the great things that they've done for me, the things that they've taught me, and it just for you to get in your feelings about an album like this, the way that it was put together. That's how I knew that she had won me over for album of the year. This was an absolute masterpiece.
And not just an album for women, it's an album that dudes can dig because it's not, Righteous Woman. She was spitting heat like, yo, it's universal. It transcends gender. And we don't say that about a lot of rap music right now. This joint transcends gender. Where it's a woman rapping, and you know how I feel about women rappers. This was on a totally different lane. Normally I'm Jean Grey, MC Light. I kind of stay in that avenue. I don't do the City Girls and the Asia Dolls and all that stuff. But this right here,
and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just not for me.
Absolutely.
This is my lane. But she absolutely demolished this, dog. I mean, I can listen to this, with my kids. I can listen to this with my girl.
Yep.
I can listen to it. It's no place or atmosphere where it's like, nah, now ain't the time for Rapsody's album. That's how dope this is. This is going to be a timeless album.
You want to play it for your girl. You want to play it for the babies. You know what I mean?
This is a powerful album.
Yeah, it was
it's
dope.
very few albums where you can be like, man, this is one that's gonna be powerful and it's gonna mean a lot for a long time. This is one right here.
And we said the same thing for Laila's Wisdom. So that's just showing growth and consistency.
Right. I mean, and if you how dope Laila's Wisdom album was last year, and now she makes Laila with the follow up with Eve. She makes Laila's Wisdom look like a 7.
Yep, I agree.
Like last year, if you give me that and you say, oh, what's your scale of 1 to 10 for Laila's Wisdom? I'm giving 8.5 or 9.
Yep.
But now, the way the growth, the maturation, the message, just the way how well this was put together, man, and the production. Oh,
the production was heavy.
The production,
heavy,
top to bottom. It's like, yo.
Same cast that did the Little Brother album, other than Knife. Knife was the only addition.
Yeah.
It was Milk and Crisis and Knots on that too.
Man, and the way Crisis and Knife is my standout on her album.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's like, man.
You know who stood out on the album to me though, man?
Yeah.
Latifah, dude.
Oh,
she got it to a UNITY crown bag, man.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe it may have been because we haven't heard her flow in a minute. She went to doing the jazz and all that stuff, singing in the movies, but she still got some chops, and they were legit chops. Like if she dropped the album now, based on production, it'll be dope.
Yeah, and you know what, man? I was just in the crib watching. I was watching House Party 2. So Latifah was in there, and me and Pops got to talking about it. Like, man, she's so talented. She can sing, she can rap.
Yeah.
Just found out she could play the drum. She can act. And it's just like, and just to think about how multifaceted she's been and how long she's been doing it, it's like, man, she's definitely iconic. The features on this joint, I'm just going down the track list, and now all of the features is dope.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, absolutely zero misses. Gene, his verse,
this dude,
his verse came with it. So he might be another one is like one of those freshmen to watch out for.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this ain't his first year on the scene, but he's starting to get bigger and bigger, even more buzz with the Revenge 3 album, and then this feature, he's starting to get a little bit more buzz out there, but this dude came with it. His verse on Iman was cold.
He had a line, man. Oh, but I can't think of. I'm trying to pull it up now. That was so dope, man. Oh, what did this dude say? I don't want the record to play.
Man, he came with it on so that whole album was cold.
Oh, they gonna let me pull up the lyrics. He said something. He was like, he referenced. He was talking about the FBI. Then he referenced the CIA. Then the next bar, he used the CIA again, but they were words. It was so dope, but I can't think of what he. Oh my goodness, what did this cat say?
He absolutely demolished it. I'm gonna have to look it up too. But this album was beyond special.
Yeah, it was. This
album was special, man. This album is gonna be something for a long time. I mean, this one really. I felt this one a lot with the way, just how well put together it was. The fact that it's big up in black women, and it's not just. It doesn't feel like it's over doing it, because sometimes it's like women's empowerment can sometimes be like thrown at you and feel like it's forced down your throat, because, and I don't want that to sound like a bad thing, because sometimes it just needs to be a forceful presence, and this is, but it's so easy to listen to. It's so captivating with the way that she packaged it.
It is.
It's like she packaged this perfectly. Rhapsody, absolutely, hands down, as the album of the year. It would take a act of God, or at least a God MC to come through and take this from her now. I don't know if somebody gonna come through with a better album this year.
I was reading. I was reading what sparked her to do this particular album the way she did it. She said she was doing an interview in 2018, and the interviewer asked her, "Do you see yourself somewhere between Nina Simone and Roberta Flack for like this generation, the new versions of them?" And that's what caused her to go out and do this album like that. I was like, that's fresh. That's fresh.
That is dope. That is dope. Man.
I got Jiz's line. My man said, like an Asian or a Secret Service, some CIA. CIA ain't okay with the way they trying to portray them. I'm like, when he said CIA, then that next bar said CIA. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah. Like, come on. And it was so complex but simple.
I was trying to pull up the lyrics, I just couldn't find it.
So complex but simple.
Crazy. And it's like the play on words. It's so many different there's so many different situations like that comes out on this album. It's like, man, she is absolutely masterful.
And I was thinking about that.
She broke this down.
I was thinking about that. This is the first, well, we've heard her on mixtapes and her own personal stuff, the Jamala stuff, but this is the first time, in my opinion, that I think her wordplay, her delivery, the double entendres was like the best I've ever heard from her. She's always been a dope lyricist, but it seems like everything came together for this one project. That's how I know it's going to be special. It all came together. It was fused together well.
It was. It's nothing more that you can say. You're absolutely right. That's this album to a T. And you know I gotta say it. It was an hour's worth of music.
Yeah. Yeah.
She gave you an hour's worth of music. Now you right. You can. It can go the other way. It can go sour. Because let's go back to Chance. Chance gave me an hour and 20 or something like that.
Man, I didn't even get past 7 tracks from Chance. I stopped at 7, so I can't tell you.
So hit and miss. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Chance fan. I always have been. To me, this is his only bad project.
Yeah.
But it's so hit or miss. You've got a few gems in there, but you got to suffer through some BS, in my opinion, that I don't like.
Yeah.
It's not me giving up on Chance. If he dropped another album tomorrow, I would listen to it.
No doubt.
I'm a fan, but that's a give and take. Where it's like, okay, Lil Brother only gave me 30-something minutes of music, but it was concise. It was beautiful, front to back, 37 minutes. But I wanted more. Rapsody gave me an hour worth of non-stop bars, no misses, front to back. I can play this all the way through, and that's what I love. I mean, I'm coming from the airport yesterday, and, well, actually, I started listening to it while I was on the plane, and then I got off the plane.
Light flex.
I'm still listening to it. I text y'all as soon as I landed. Like, as soon as I had service, I'm like, yo, you gotta listen to Rapsody. I text you, I text a couple of my other homies, my cousins. I'm like, you gotta listen to this album. This is the album of the year right now. And it's like, man, you can give me that and I'm good. So much so that I still haven't had a chance to listen to some other projects that came out, because even still today, the only thing I've listened to is Rapsody. I spun her album 2 times again today. That's how cold it is.
Yeah, I gave it 2 today too. So we unwrapping Rapsody and Lil Brother.
Oh, for sure. Gotta unwrap both of them.
So with those 2 albums, is it safe to say, just listening the vibe that I'm catching from you, that's probably 1, 2, and 3 between Rapsody number 1, KRIT number 2, and Little Brother somewhere between 3 and 5?
Yeah.
Okay, that's safe.
Yeah, you gotta be. And you know what? I'm just going over some of the music that dropped. You know what? I lied. I did listen to Glory, Ad Liva, and Sado. I did listen to their project, and it's decent. I like it.
I saw it yesterday on Lupe page, but I ain't get into it yet.
Yeah, so I first saw it on Push page, and then I seen Lupe. I seen it on his page. I'm like, all right, yeah, I definitely got to go check this out. So I forgot. I did spin that today, and it was decent. I liked it. But then I went right back to Rapsody. So I went right back to it. And, but yeah, that's definitely my 3 right now.
Did I do anything new?
Number 1.
I did Ferg today. That's what I did today. I listened to Ferg Project.
Oh, so when you sent it to me, you hadn't even listened to it.
No, that was my first time listening to it. Yep.
Yeah, the day you sent it to me, I listened to it.
No, I didn't listen to it.
This project is kind of short too.
Yeah.
But the production on there is super dope.
Yeah.
You talk about, one thing that ASAP always does, the ASAP crew, is they production is real loud and vibrant, and it puts you in like a mode. Yeah, he did that. He stayed true to that.
Screwface.
Yeah, for sure. That the production on there was dope. The last couple tracks was, it was just alright.
The only one, and
it's still a solid project.
And when you mentioned that to me, I was like, I'm not gonna look at the titles. I'm not gonna look at the track listing. I'm just gonna see when I get to the end when it rolled back to 1 if I felt the same way. I didn't feel the same way. Normally we in the grands. The only track that I probably didn't was. Well, not even that one. So I take that. It was a solid effort. It's what I would expect from Ferg. I wasn't disappointed for listening to it. I didn't feel like my time was wasted. Does it have playback? Probably not. But if I'm on a run or something and it's in the shuffle, oh, this is an ASAP joint. Okay, let's see what he's doing, and it bring it back to the album.
Run a few of them.
Yeah.
It's I'm not gonna delete it.
No doubt.
It'll definitely stay in the. It'll stay in the stuff. It's a solid album. It's a solid one. I haven't had a chance to listen to Missy's album yet. I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's an EP, so I didn't check it yet.
Oh, it's just an EP?
Yeah, it's an EP, so like the last 2 tracks are the same. It's like 6 records, I think 5 records. And one is a regular version, the other one is a cappella, so I was like, I can hold off on that. For me, I'm going to listen to it, but it's like, if something was to drop, she would probably go back burner, because it's just a 5-track, pretty much a 3-track EP.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll definitely still go back and I'm going to check that out. What else dropped? Oh, we didn't talk about Ross. Ross is like, what, 1 week, 2 weeks old now?
Yeah, just around 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah. Ross had a nice project.
It was a Ross project, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you talk about production. Ross has always been great with his production, and it showed here. So his project, I thought, was very well-rounded. Again, it's what we've come to expect, and it didn't disappoint.
Yeah.
He didn't hit me with nothing new.
Nothing new.
I didn't see any lyrical growth. I didn't see anything like out of the box that just wowed me.
But it was a Ross project.
It was a good project. Yeah. The features was dope. A huge fan of Wale. So Wale came with his thing. Gunplay surprised me.
Yeah, Gunplay. That dude.
Gunplay came with the bar.
This was Bible on the dash, Gunplay.
Yeah. He surprised me like Big Pooh surprised me. In a different manner, but the fact that it's like I was expecting one thing and it's like you kind of you over delivered. So Gunplay was dope on that. But that big time joint with Switch Beats and Just Blaze on the production.
Yeah.
Man, you know me. I'm a sucker for Just Blaze tracks.
Yeah.
And he didn't disappoint on that.
He didn't.
Just Blaze definitely came with
it.
He came with it.
I got a but though.
A caveat.
I wanted, and I think I told you this, I wanted audacious Swiss Beats on there. That should have been an audacious Swiss Beats record. He was too calm for me on that album.
Being called Big Time. Yeah,
what it called Big Time, and what Ross was speaking, his ad libs was kind of subdued. Yeah. He needed to be like hollering on that joint.
Yeah, give me some more braggadocious.
For real.
I feel you on that.
But it was dope. It was dope. Nipsey, another light spot. Made me go back to listen to Victory Lap again, man.
Yeah, it's and we discussed this a little bit, man. It's like, yo, you in the moment, and you thinking like, man, this dude is getting busy.
Yep.
And then you start to think like, man, it's going to become a point in time where
there'll be no more.
You won't hear anything. It's great to hear something new, a new verse, and then eventually everything that we did is going to become old because his untimely death took that away from us.
Yeah.
So that kind of put things into perspective. It kind of hurt for a second. I'm like, man.
Yeah, it is.
Eventually, we're gonna run out of Nipsey verses. You know? I mean, because we can sit around now and be like, man, you know who would sound dope on here is Jay, and it's like that's feasible. Jay can get on something, or you can say, man, I wish I can get a Nas verse on this, or if I can get, you know, a KRIT verse, that's feasible because you know they're relevant. They still drop music, but then it's like you can only wish for a Nipsey verse at this point, you know, that's a very downtrodden part of it. It's like, man, eventually it's gonna become a point in time where we ain't gonna get no more Nipsey.
And it's hoping that a lot of artists got a lot of his stuff in the tuck, just waiting for their album to release. I'm pretty sure that may be the case.
Yeah, I mean, so you expect for guys like, you know, Buddy to have some stuff in the tuck. You expect for YG to have some stuff in the tuck. You know, guys like that.
Yeah.
You know, because they was cool with Nip. Those that's normal for them. You know, but then it's like, imagine him and Jay getting on the track, or him and Nas getting on the track, or him and like Dave East. Those are just guys who I think they styles mesh really well.
Yeah.
You know, or like him and Kendrick on the track. It's like, will we ever get something like that? I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be surprised if you know, maybe him and Rick Ross had another one in the tuck. But you know, guys like Cody Supreme or Jay Stone, you expect those type of guys to have some more in the tuck just because they you know, they was with him. You know, so I expected them to still have music.
And even if you hop on the verse now, if someone releases a track that they're already on, like AJ, I don't think it'll still be dope because it's who it is on the record, but it's not the same as, you know, in that moment when y'all in there hashing it out in the studio together. You're gonna make a dope line because you're a dope MC, but it's something about being in the aura, in the presence of when, you know, you're stewing the soup up, you know what I'm saying? When you're stirring everything together, it's different. It'll still be a dope project, but it's not that organic as you was there when the original was taking place.
That's what I was about to say, that organic feel. We're gonna get some pieces where, you know, they're gonna take it from another track or an old track and piece it over, and that's gonna happen. I already know we're gonna get that, but like you said, it's not gonna have that same organic feel where they creating in the lab together. That's gonna be the part that's missing. And it's sad that we at a point like this, you know. But it is what it is.
And hoping that it's new music, because Biggie Duets was dope, but I don't want to hear old Nip with new, you know, new lyrics. I want everything to be new.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And I wonder if Big, I know we segue into a whole different topic, but I wonder if Big had, he may not have music in the tuck like that. I don't know how much of a machine he was in recording, but you would think, you know, that some stuff would come out that's new, and we haven't gotten a new verse from him. And I wonder if that's just a conscious effort from the family to be like, yo, let's just preserve him. It may come out years later at a museum or something. Who knows?
Yeah, that'll be dope. I mean, anytime that you can get more Nip is going to be. I'm never going to be mad at it. If you can give me more Nipsey Hussle, then I'm going to always be excited about it. You know, so I'll take it as it comes. But,
yeah, me too.
You know, listening to him on, you know, them post-mortem verses is always going to be a little tough. But, you know, it's a sad reality that we live in now.
You're right.
Yeah, man.
You're right.
But, I feel like I'm missing something. Are we missing more music? Somebody else dropped, didn't it?
Well, we got a Snoop album. I didn't really. I listened to it and it was good, but I didn't listen to it because we had other stuff that was on in my eye view first. You know what I'm saying? So I went to those albums, but I'm gonna give it another spin. It was decent from what I heard. Snoop went through a point where he wasn't really rapping no more. He just was saying shenanigans on records. Yeah. But he's actually rapping on this. And I went back before the new stuff started dropping and listened to the Blue Carpet. No, not Blue Carpet. Bush and all the other albums. I didn't know he dropped that many albums within like the last 4 years. Even a couple EPs. And he was back on his Snoop stuff. So,
So I haven't listened to this one yet. So I got it in the tuck. You sent that to me last week.
Yeah, it had to be. Whenever I sent Ferg.
Yeah. So you sent that to me last week. I haven't had a chance to listen to that. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know when I'm gonna get to it.
And that's about right. That's fair to say. That's cool to say that.
Let's say this. I'm not in a rush. I'll still spin it because it's Snoop. It is what it is. But I'm in no rush right now.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm still digesting Little Brother and some Rapsody joint, and it is what it is, man. And my bad, I'm sorry about the background noise. And come to liquor store run.
No.
As the show is going.
So for those that don't know, if there won't be a video, we're doing this remote. So I guess Aaron, since he's not hooked up to any equipment like me, is he's running errands.
Pop wanted to go to the liquor store. We're in the community right now. This show is about to take a turn for the better, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sitting up here in front of a computer. You sitting up there outside. Oh man! Oh niggas!
That's how we do it on the wrap up, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man!
Yeah, man. But it's a beautiful time for music right now. This is the moment that I love and the moments that I live for, because whenever you got this much on your plate that you just feel like you're scrambling, it's like this is the epitome or the greatest analogy of Kid at Christmas. It's like you come downstairs, you got a ton of presents, and you don't know which one to open first.
Yep.
That's how I feel right now. Which album am I gonna unwrap first? And it's like you feel like it ain't enough time in the day.
I'm gonna say this album to listen to it when I'm doing this. I'm gonna say this album to listen to it when I'm doing this.
Yeah. And that's the best, man. That's the best. I could do this forever. As long as they keep dropping great music, I'm gonna for sure keep listening. These are the kind of things I'm living for. So I know Missy, I still gotta get Snoop, I still gotta get it in. Man, I don't know why I feel like I'm missing something else. Somebody else told me something, and I can't remember some other album I'm missing. I know I am. I know Snow Allegra dropped the R&B album. I did listen to that. I think hers is about a week old now.
I listened to what did I listen to? Raphael Sadiq got a real clean album. His album's real clean.
Okay. Yeah, I know that dropped that might be like a month old. I haven't.
No, it dropped yesterday.
But Raphael Sadiq album dropped yesterday.
Yeah, and we got Common coming up. I want to say Thursday, the 30th.
Oh man, we spoil right now. We went through the drought in the first quarter, and now we just spoil with music. It's so much dope stuff going on right now. DJ, the Chicago kid, dropped the album.
Yeah, he dropped an album.
I think, around the same time that YB and Corday dropped his, and that was dope.
Currency dropped an album, an EP rather.
I did see that. That came up on my Apple Music for you. Jeezy, that's the one. That's it.
That's right.
Somebody else dropped the album.
I ain't even listened to it yet. I didn't even download it yet.
It was Jeezy. Yeah. So
104, right?
I actually just got it. Yeah, yep. I actually just got it queued up right now. I was like, man, it's another one, and I just can't remember who it is. Jeezy. So it's a lot going on, man. And I'm here for all of it.
So Nas started the wave. Once Nas dropped, everybody dropping now.
Right. Yeah. He did, man. Once he came out there and it was like, yo, it's time for me to get in. So I'm with it. I hope we get some more. I know Lupe just dropped a new music video, so I love for him to drop a joint. I know Wale been dropping music here.
Yeah, Wale been dropping singles. A lot. Yeah.
So I know he got a project coming. That's his MO. So I'm ready for that one too.
Yeah, so some stuff we are preparing for.
Yeah, man, it's a lot in the tuck already, and as long as they keep coming with more music, hey, like I said, I'm gonna keep listening. And now that we back on, we gonna have episode 30. Ain't gonna take us until November.
For real. For real. And if people was asking, it's like, yo, what's going on with the show? I was like, yeah, man, but life been happening, trips and work, business, things of that nature. But we'll be coming soon. Don't take your notifications off.
Right, yeah. We're like, don't forget about us. We still in here. It's just a brief little moment, but we back at it. So yeah, I've been hearing the same things on my end, man. But I wanted to definitely. It feels good to get back another one under here.
Yeah.
So we definitely gotta get the videos back up. That's a for sure. But for right now, the remote gonna have to do. And the impromptu liquor store runs will pop. Probably shooting the podcast right now. I know you don't know.
Can't ask to get on, man.
I got Pop riding shotgun with me right now, y'all. So, we shooting the podcast right now. You are our first official guest.
First guest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We got pops out there.
Yeah.
So that's all we got, bro.
We talking about the new music. Yeah, man. See how wonderful this is and how organic it is. This is how we want our music. Let's go run for pop. Fuck around, end up on episode 29.
He want to talk about Bobby Womack or something?
Yeah, Pop. Tell us about the music, Pop. What we missing in today's music? More instruments. See, look, this is words of wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. We're missing more instruments. I feel you.
What we got to understand, this is what happened. The government took away music out of the system. So black people, what they started doing, they came up with these stuff. They didn't need no instruments.
We became our own instrument.
But now that slowly back to the original style, you can't totally.
I feel you. That makes sense. That make a ton of sense. Man, you see where I get it from?
Man, he up there that sounded like Lonnie Led pops.
I know, right? This man's a genius.
For real, man. But that's it, man. That's all I got, bro.
Man, most definitely so good to get another one back under the belt. We're coming back to 30 pretty soon, and hopefully we'll have some more good music to talk about. Pop, we signing off. Tell the people peace.
All right, bro. That's a bow, man.
Peace.